Okay, so I'm going to visit Leslie. This is my studio, right? And this is Leslie. She's right next door. She's a sculptor, Leslie Fry. And
Come in.
and here she is. Hi, Leslie.
Hi, Ariane.
You're so lovely to talk to us. She's a sculptor, study of hands, obviously. Talk to me.
Yeah, these, before I left, I made some small, like this big, hands out of plaster. And one thing I do a lot, instead of drawing, is do all these arrangements and just take photos. So it gives me ideas. And I wasn't exactly sure what I'd be focusing on while I was here. So I printed these out as kind of like a backup project for drawing.
And then how is
These are
this
knots.
related?
Maybe. I'm
Who
very
knows?
sort of stream of consciousness about, like, I've done a lot with rope and string and knots, like a metaphor. In other past pieces, you know, we tie ourselves up, or we could be rescued by rope, or we can get all, entangles
Right.
and snarls. And so it was hard to pack for just 2 weeks of work, because
Right.
I don't like to predict exactly what I'm going to do when I'm at this totally new place. And I know you had this, like, you want to travel lightly.
Right.
So, so these are like backup,
Okay.
and I imagine myself traipsing around doing a lot of drawing.
Right.
And if I got tired of traipsing around, I could use these as a basis for something.
Right.
But so far, I've just been having too much fun traipsing around and taking photographs.
Which I'm going to insert the photographs
Yeah.
actually as we're
Yes,
talking.
yes. And the other backup thing I did was I do
This is her
collage, and at home I've got, oh my God, lots and lots of folders and bins just full of images that I've collected over the years. So, I'm not going to bring all of those to
No.
France. But it's nice to have something, and so it was a hard time. It was hard to decide what to bring, so I thought, limit yourself. Okay, black and white.
Right.
And originally, when I applied to be here 3 years ago or so, I was going to go to different medieval and Gothic cathedrals and relate it to the human body. So I said, okay, human body anatomy, black and white.
Got
Just
it.
so I could put it all in one envelope.
Right. Right.
So,
Right.
So the first thing
The
I
challenges of an artist.
did when I got here is, I know, we went shopping the second day, and I bought a roll of white paper, and I put
Right.
white paper over things, because I'm in this black and white mode, right?
Right.
And then Kevin found me some India ink, plus I brought some pens. So I'll send you a photograph. I took a picture of just this piece of paper, and I wrote commence a few times using all my different,
Right.
like a brush or a pen, and I thought, okay. And so then, when I wake up in the morning, I'll walk in and it'll say begin, and then, I just...
It's a prompt.
Yeah. And then I just kept carrying on with commence all over it. And then I did it was on this table, and there are all these collage bits, and I did a collage that I'll send you a photo of. But it's just temporary, you see.
Right.
It's not glued down. I just put
Right.
some of these bits on this and photographed it. So that's a lot of the way I work in general, but especially while I'm here, it's like, what's around?
Yeah.
I'm responding to whatever's around in that supply closet. It's a gold mine,
Right. So Leslie, would you say that the real work, the real hands-on sculpting work, will begin when you get home?
Yeah, I wasn't even planning on making a sculpture, but I am. I just took the beginning of it downstairs to a warmer spot to dry
really?
out. Because I just, I'll send you a picture of that too,
Yes.
but it's not finished, but I just took a little chunk of broken brick and some chicken
I saw
wire.
the beginning. It was very
and
exciting.
some twigs, and then looked around, and there was another crazy artist here. I have to ask Beulah when and who she is. And she's like me. We don't throw anything away, including used paper towels.
Right.
So there's this stack of paper towels in the supply closet. And there was some gesso. And I've never done this before, but I just dipped paper towels in gesso and put it over my little armature, but it's still not dry. That's why I just moved it downstairs. And then I found these cut out strips of rubber tire. I might use those. I mean, this is like, unlike her, I even keep, crumpled up. I know it sounds ridiculous. I mean, unless it's really disgusting.
Oh, no, you're talking to people who,
Okay.
no.
And so I bought...
This is right up
I
our
bought
alley.
these hair doodads when we went shopping, and some sadist must have designed them. Look, they're like little bungee cords.
Oh, yeah, with little hooks.
But
Can
try
you
making a
actually do it?
ponytail and putting this around. Forget it. It just
Right.
gets all... So I might use them,
In
Ta-da.
something else.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
And maybe with the rubber, see,
Right.
I wrap some around the rubber tire. I'm keeping some Post-it,
So you're also going to send me a photograph of your sculpture garden that you have in Vermont.
Yeah.
Right?
I mean, that's one of the reasons coming here is such a gas, such a dream. Like I'm like the mini-me version of this, in my little place in Vermont, I have a little barn and a garage studio and, a house that's a duplex that I live anyway. And so I've been making a sculpture garden over 30 years and using, stuff. It's a really old house, that's around. So coming here is great. It's like, the macrocosm of some of where I'm at.
Right. So here she
It's
is.
not
So I gotta zoom in because look at this. So you're cutting up this stuff, this anatomy, kind of black and white.
Yeah,
Are those
Like,
yours, or is that a like an illustration?
This is like
okay.
a photocopy of an anatomical engraving from a long time ago.
Okay.
And
then you're putting it in here.
Just cutting them into strips so it's easier to wrap around. And
is she going to be completely covered?
No, I don't know.
We don't know.
I don't think so.
I love the process of this.
I haven't done this before, and I don't think it's working too well, so I may just do her arms.
Now, why don't you think it's working well? What isn't working?
The glue. No, I'm talking about technically, like the glue.
Okay, the glue is not
there
sticking.
All these, I don't know this French glue, Giotto, liquid
Collage.
transparent. That sounded good, but what do I know? I didn't want to bring
a whole
glue
bunch
and
of stuff.
ink and stuff, so...
Very cool.
But we'll see.
But I love the striations that are getting
created.
created
So
here.
what I like is the idea that you can sort of, I think anyway, maybe tell it's anatomical without it being literal.
Yeah.
Because I'm not gluing on an arm.
Oh, look at how Leslie is transforming this. So it did start to work, huh?
Yeah. It was harder to twist it around the little arms. But I'm going to paint. This isn't, it's too clunky the way it is.
Okay, but it's cool. It's the process.
Yeah.
All right.
Okay, so I wasn't sure if this would work. Plus, I've been waiting for a printout of some of the ruins on the property.
We talked about this, the cobbles.
But, the printer still isn't working, so I'm just going to go ahead.
Yeah.
Meanwhile, as a backup or as to try something I've tried before, here's the problem. I want to put images on something three-dimensional, like flat collage, easy, okay? Flat piece of paper, glue it on, rub it, boom. But around lumpy things, harder. So this is something I've done before, and it usually just works best when you have a fresh photocopy, and these are like, what I brought with me are years old, so I didn't know if it would work. So what you do is you take your photocopy and you take, this is just what happened to be in the supply closet, any kind of acrylic medium. This is gel. It could be matte medium. And you brush on at least 4 layers, but you have to let each layer dry in between. Then let it cure overnight, because acrylic is plastic. Don't do anything right away. Let it have time to cure. Okay, so now fast forward to what I'm doing. Then you put the matte medium on the image. Now I'm putting the image face down and wetting it. And then you peel, once it's wet, and I recommend doing this with your fingers, you peel all the paper off from the back. And that way, what you'll end up with when I'm really finished, this isn't finished yet, is this flexible image, which is then easier to like wrap around something than a flat.
The paper and gotten the print.
Yeah, and I didn't think it would work because these are so old.
Yeah, but look at that, and it's a beautiful.
So then,
that's very cool.
See, then you can
and it's translucent.
Put it around.
As well.
Yeah. Now I don't really like the gloss, but that's all that I could find in the supply closet.
Now, if you had matte medium, would it have given you the same gloss?
No. Because it's matte.
But Kevin has some.
Yeah, but it's Kevin's.
I think he got it from the supply closet.
Oh, whatever. I didn't even know if this would work.
Well, it's very cool.
Because the photocopies are so old, I didn't know if this would work.
The glossiness might actually be cool.
Whatever. But I just thought you'd be interested.
You sound like me. Whatever.
Yeah. No, but see,
it's just doing like a whole thing here.
Yeah, fine.
Hi, Leslie. So we're almost at the end.
Yes.
I know.
Today's open studios.
I know. So here's the babe. She's fabulous. Yeah. So I've got close-ups of that.
Yeah.
All right. So what have we got here?
Well, since it's the end, I was looking as the residency progressed. I was making little lists of things I wanted to do while I was here because, I had some backup plans of what to do during 2 weeks, but I naturally wanted to respond to everything around me, and so my lists kept changing every day. And today I'm just trying to photograph what I'm leaving behind, which is everything, and and looking at my list going, I can, like for instance, in the spirit of responding to what's around me, this was in my studio when I first arrived. It still is, obviously. And I thought, of course, I will use it. I'll press things into paper.
Oh, yeah.
And so I didn't get around to that until yesterday. And it's not, there's no great result.
Right. Okay.
No.
Okay.
But I tried it.
Right.
And I'm still kind of trying it on this phone stuff.
Right.
But overall, I'm just happy to have had this experience. I didn't let myself get hung up on being super permanent in what I did, in just more taking in and letting myself do temporary, loose, quick things. And really, I think people got the impression I'm like that all the time. I'm absolutely the opposite. So this was really...
So do you feel like when you get home, is there something you're already sort of percolating in your mind, like I'm going to do this, or something that was influenced by the stay here, or not so much?
Nothing immediate, because I have projects that I need to attend to that were already started before I left that I really need to get back to. But one thing I'm taking away from this experience that I'll have on the back burner for future is, it's not like this is a big surprise to me, but I have a totally theatrical bent, and yet what I do in my artistic life is usually big, heavy, very lengthy, obsessive, labor-intensive sculptures.
Right.
And so while I was here, I was like, you know, the artist in the garret thing, the shadow puppet thing, the quick, like the drawing I put in the stables took me maybe, half an hour, and to try to get some of that spirit back into my, well, I shouldn't say back, but into my ongoing
more
future.
prominent.
Yeah.
More prominent.
Or just let it happen.
Yeah.
A lot of it, never mind. It just has to do with maybe as a young artist, people trying to squelch that, and
Right.
for me to be more of a formalist, which I totally am not. I'm about narrative and symbolism and imagery, and being a student in the 70s when at least all male art faculty, minimalism, geometry, abstraction, and they were repulsed by what I was doing, but that's okay because I had a good fuck you attitude. But still, I think, I'm going to let more of that
Right.
be.
Yeah. Thanks for talking to me,
Sure.
Leslie.
No, it's a pleasure. It's a pleasure having you as a neighbor.
Yeah.
And
We would talk through the walls at night.
Yes, there's a crack. And,
Here's the door that
here's the
that
door.
adjoins. We would.
And I did post this, but I love the contrast of black and white. And then you go into your studio, color, life, joy, brightness. Even like you'd have two of those lights on.
Yeah.
And I favor like just
Dark.
natural
Yeah. There's
light
no.
coming through
There's
the
no
window.
light on in here.
No. Yeah. Anyway.
Too funny. Thanks, Leslie.